The question of whether past lives are real is a complex and controversial subject that has been debated for centuries across different cultures and belief systems. Past life theories are generally tied to spiritual or religious frameworks, particularly in Eastern traditions like Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, where the concept of reincarnation forms a core part of their belief systems. These traditions propose that the soul, or an essence of consciousness, transcends physical death and is reborn in a new body, influenced by karma or one's actions in previous lives. On the other hand, in many Western religions like Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, the concept of reincarnation is not prevalent, and life is seen as a singular journey with eternal consequences rather than a cycle of rebirth. From a scientific perspective, there is no empirical evidence that conclusively proves the existence of past lives. Science is based on observable, testable phenomena, and the idea of reincarnation or past lives does not currently fit within the framework of materialist science. Memory, personality, and identity are typically understood to be functions of the brain. When the brain dies, so too do the memories and characteristics of an individual, according to this view. Thus, for many scientists and skeptics, the notion of past lives is dismissed as an artifact of cultural belief or a product of psychological phenomena such as false memories, cryptomnesia, when forgotten memories resurface as new, or cognitive biases. Despite the lack of scientific validation, there are a number of anecdotal reports and studies that have sought to explore the possibility of past lives. One of the most famous cases comes from the research of Dr. Ian Stevenson, a psychiatrist at the University of Virginia, who spent decades studying children who claimed to remember past lives. Stevenson documented thousands of cases in which young children, often around the ages of 2 to 5, would speak of previous lifetimes with specific details, including names, locations, and circumstances of their death. In some instances, these details were corroborated through investigation, such as when the child's story matched the life of a deceased person in a different location, someone the child had never met or could not have known about. These cases, though intriguing, are not considered definitive proof of past lives. Critics argue that such phenomena could be explained by a variety of other means, such as the child unconsciously picking up information from family members, media, or other sources. Moreover, human memory is notoriously malleable and susceptible to suggestion, which makes it difficult to determine the true origins of these so-called past life memories. Suggestion from adults or leading questions might unintentionally shape a child's account, especially in cultures or families where belief in reincarnation is strong. The notion of past lives also intersects with various psychological interpretations. Some psychologists have explored the possibility that past life memories are, in fact, manifestations of the unconscious mind. According to this view, these memories could be symbolic rather than literal, reflecting unresolved psychological issues or deep-seated emotional conflicts. For instance, under hypnosis or through past life regression therapy, individuals might recount experiences that seem like memories of other lives but are actually projections of their current psychological state. These could be drawn from subconscious fears, desires, or traumas that have not been fully processed. Past life regression therapy, while controversial, is practiced by some therapists who believe that accessing these past life memories can help individuals overcome psychological or emotional problems in their present life. During a regression session, the therapist guides the individual into a relaxed, meditative state and encourages them to recall memories from what is purported to be a previous lifetime. Proponents of this practice claim that past life regression can provide insights into current issues, such as phobias, relationship problems, or health conditions, that are believed to have roots in a person's past lives. However, the reliability of these memories is highly disputed, and mainstream psychology does not recognize past life regression as a valid therapeutic technique. Skeptics argue that past life regression relies heavily on suggestion and the power of belief. The state of deep relaxation or hypnosis used during these sessions makes individuals more susceptible to suggestion, which can lead to the creation of false memories. The human brain has a remarkable capacity to fabricate coherent narratives, even when the information is entirely false. In this view, past life memories recalled during regression therapy are no more than stories constructed by the brain, shaped by cultural influences, personal beliefs, and the expectations of the therapist or the subject. Cultural beliefs play a significant role in shaping how people understand and interpret the concept of past lives. In societies where reincarnation is a widely accepted belief, stories of past life memories are more common and tend to be taken more seriously. In contrast, in cultures where the afterlife is viewed as a singular, eternal state, such as heaven or hell, reincarnation is often regarded as a foreign or mystical idea. This cultural divide can also influence how individuals interpret personal experiences. For example, someone who experiences a strong sense of déjà vu or an inexplicable affinity for a particular historical period might interpret these feelings as evidence of a past life if they come from a culture that embraces reincarnation. Meanwhile, someone from a different cultural background might attribute the same experiences to coincidence or imagination. Philosophically, the concept of past lives raises important questions about the nature of identity and consciousness. If reincarnation is real, what part of the self continues after death? Is it the personality, the memories, or some deeper, ineffable essence? In traditions that believe in reincarnation, it is often said that the soul, or Atman, transcends individual lifetimes, but this soul is distinct from the ego or personal identity. The ego, with its specific memories and characteristics, dissolves at death, but the soul carries the karmic imprint of past actions, which influences future lifetimes. This view presents a more fluid understanding of identity, where the self is not a fixed entity but a changing process that evolves over time. In contrast, many materialist philosophers and scientists argue that consciousness is an emergent property of the brain and cannot exist independently of it. According to this view, when the brain dies, consciousness ceases to exist, and there is no continuation of the self beyond death. This materialist perspective is supported by evidence from neuroscience, which shows that changes to the brain, such as injury, illness, or the influence of drugs, can profoundly alter a person's personality, memories, and sense of self. This suggests that consciousness is intimately tied to the physical brain, making the notion of past lives, where consciousness moves from one body to another, highly unlikely. There are also ethical considerations tied to the belief in past lives. For instance, the concept of karma, which is often linked to reincarnation, suggests that the circumstances of one's current life are a result of actions in past lives. This can lead to a fatalistic outlook, where people believe that suffering or misfortune is a consequence of past misdeeds, even if those misdeeds occurred in a previous existence that they have no memory of. While this belief can encourage personal responsibility and ethical behavior, it can also be used to justify inequality or suffering, as it implies that people deserve their current circumstances based on their past lives. In conclusion, the question of whether past lives are real remains unresolved. From a scientific standpoint, there is no conclusive evidence to support the existence of past lives, and most accounts can be explained through psychological, cultural, or neurological factors. However, for many people, the belief in reincarnation and past lives offers a sense of continuity, meaning, and hope beyond the limitations of a single lifetime. Whether viewed through a religious, philosophical, or psychological lens, the concept of past lives continues to captivate the human imagination and provoke deep reflection on the nature of life, death, and identity. That's it for today. If you liked the video, please subscribe to stay updated with new content. See you soon.